Hello there, I'm Dagnus from the Skyrim Nexus website, and this is my fifth tutorial in the Creation Kit series, and today we shall be going into lighting, FX, and adding ambience. I did actually make a tutorial just now. It was quite a lengthy tutorial, but three-quarters of the way through, something went wrong with the audio in post-processing and everything buggered up, so I have to start again. So the dungeon is already done, for all intents and purposes, from the last tutorial, but I'll just give a quick rundown and show how things are done still. Anyway, as usual, file, data, Skyrim.esm, double-clicked, test dungeon, or whatever you named it, and make it active file, okay, and yes to all warnings as per usual. Now we want to bring up, highlight your dungeon cell for this tutorial, as it always is. It's AAA test dungeon. Right click, edit. Actually, just before that, you can go and open it up. So right click, edit. As a location, you can ignore for now. I'll go over that quickly in the next tutorial. And same with an encounter zone. I'll go over that at some other time. What we want to do is add acoustic space and music type. What I've done, I've used Dungeon Mine and MUS Dungeon, and that just makes it audibly more like a dungeon. You can do the same. You can, as you can see, there's a whole list to choose from for both of them. Lighting, what this does, it makes the dungeon or the room, the cell, whatever you want to call it, more it gives it warmer, darker colours, or brighter, cooler colours, depending on what type of dungeon you're making. It makes it more aesthetically pleasing. It makes it, gives it a feel. It gives it that certain glow that you get when you go into dungeons, as opposed to just being a plain old bright light dungeon as it has been in whilst we've been creating it. So what you want to do is template. That's, again, with the music, the same as the music, there's a whole list to choose from. One thing to note, you'll come across, as you can see, it says far, far, or close, or medium, or closer. This is in reference to the fog. If you're making an absolute huge dungeon with epic size rooms, you want to use close fog. It just takes less stress off the computer. If you're making a smallish dungeon like this, you can use far lighting, because there's not so much to load, and it's quick, so you don't need to worry about it. So I'm using the dwarven lighting far for this one. Interior data, on the name area, that's the name of the dungeon. When you approach the door or the cave entrance, it will say enter here, or in this case it will be enter small dungeon. Encounter zone, I'll go over that in the next tutorial. Encounter zone and location zone, I can be done dusted in 5 minutes. I'll do that in the next tutorial. Directional ambient lighting, now because we've already selected a template, lighting template, that it's all grayed out and automatically done. And then you want to add your image space, which just adds a bit more light. I mean, you can mix and match with the lighting as I've done, but lighting, so I'm just going to use a dwarven one. Dwarven image space. As you can see, it's changed slightly. This is the dungeon fully lit, and as you can tell, it looks a lot better than it did when we first made it. Now what we're going to do now is, you can ignore these bulbous things for now, we're going to concentrate on the lighting. As you can see, That is a ruins floor candle lamp. So what you want to do, all the lamps and candles and lights you need for the static objects you need that will give off lights are in the static list. Which means, oh, there we go. Yeah. So just click on the static, go to the filter window, and let's say you want a lamp, for example. For this, I used these medium 2, I think it was. Candle lamp, whatever. Ooh. As you can see, there's a lamp in the preview. So what you want to do, as usual, with most objects or all objects, you just left click, hold, drag, and then if it's not quite on the floor, just hold Z, left click and drag down a bit. Now the static objects themselves don't give off lights. These big bulbs do. Obviously you don't see these big bulbs, you just see the light in game. And what this is an Alica orange flicker. Alica, or however it's pronounced. And these can be found in this light subcategory here under the world objects. And just get rid of that. And it'll come up with a long list. What you want to be aware of, you'll get, let's say for example, you've got this Alica orange flicker here, and then you've got a shadow, the shad, that means shadow. You can have only 4 of those per instance, otherwise otherwise they sort of they don't work as they should. I mean, they work when you walk up to them, but it will cancel the other ones out. And if you're in a big room and you've got lots of these, it's noticeable. It's not so much noticeable if you're sort of just heading down a corridor, but you know, the general rule of thumb is maximum, I would say maximum 3, because 4 starts cancelling others out. But for most of them, you just need just a normal light. I've gone ahead and used the orange flicker because it gives it a certain glow, which I like. Then I highlighted both the lamp and the light. So Control left click on both. Then Control D to duplicate, and then obviously move them along. And I've done this all through the dungeon. I've also put a lamp next to this chest just to highlight it. And I've also put a candlestick, tabletop one, on the broken table to highlight the weapons and potions. Now, for the big room, I've used what's called a sconce, which is like a campfire stroke fireplace, whatever. And to find that, all you have to type in the filter box is ruins sconce, as it is on the screen there. And this fire is a nifty little bit. What you need to do is it's an FX again. In the object window, if you just type FX, it will come up with all a whole list there. But what you ideally want is just press all and click in this area anywhere, and just scroll down until you find I've done this wrong. FX fire. There we go. What you need to do is find one of these from here to here, any one you want, and it will come out with this. Obviously, when it comes out, it'll be bigger. This is the actual size. I do believe my brightness needs turning down because it does seem to be a bit bright. But anyway, obviously, as you can see, it's a little big for the sconce unless you want it right on the top, but I like to sit mine down a little bit. So to scale it down, as usual, hold down S, left click, then move the mouse backwards so you can just resize it. As I noted in the previous tutorial, try not to scale things up too much because it stretches the textures and makes it look bad. And for the lighting for this, I've just gone with Light Campfire 01.